A guy was so fascinated with a red lamp in his living room that he began staring at the lamp full gaze. He knew that he was completely losing his mind, but he couldn't help himself because the lamp just seemed to be kind of possessed and irresistible to this guy. After staring for a while, he noticed something so strange, and before his brain could process what was going on, he was transferred into another entire reality, a one that he could never have imagined. Welcome to Story Sphere, and it's story time, so stick around and grab your popcorn. We tell stories on both true and fictional events, imitating real-life stories and transforming them for your ultimate satisfaction and entertainment. If you find today's story interesting, then kindly give it a like. Back to today's story. In 2002, there was a guy named Williams. He was studying at a university in Louisiana. He was a senior in college at that time, which clearly meant that he was very close to graduation. In school, he had a huge crush on another senior student in his class. Her name is Emily. He loves Emily so much, and he had always wanted to go on a romantic date with her so badly. He asked her out on several occasions, but she refused for unidentified reasons. He kept chasing her for a long time until she finally agrees to go on a romantic date with him. Williams was so happy, completely over the moon, that his dream girl and his longtime crush had finally agreed to go on a romantic date with him. He got ready for the upcoming date, got nice haircuts, got the best clothes, and fast forward to the date night. It was fun, lovely, and very romantic. He was very happy with himself with how the date went. After the first date, he planned other date nights, to which she agrees, and they were all romantic and fun. A few months later, they both graduated from college, and after graduation they decided to get married since they were clearly in love. Fast forward to 2004, 2 years later, Williams and Emily bought their picket fence dream house in Louisiana, and everything seems to be working pretty fine for the couples. Fast forward to 2006, 2 years after living in their dream home, they welcomed their first child, a girl called Madison. Fast forward to 2008, 2 years later, they welcomed their second child, a boy called Dylan. Everything seemed to be working fine for the couples, and their small family was blissful. They loved their kids so much, and they were satisfied with the number of kids they had. A boy and a girl. Williams, their dad, would usually go to his kids' room every morning to sing lullabies, and every night to tell them bedtime stories. And the kids loved their parents so much. Both couples love their jobs so much that they don't miss a day, and they were doing great in their respective places of work. Also, the couple still had their regular date nights being organized, where they would basically go hang out and have fun just like when they first met. They also organize reunion parties with friends from high school and college. The couples would usually employ the service of a babysitter during this type of outing to look after their little kids till they are back. Everything was working perfect until a fateful day that will change the course of the story. On a Saturday afternoon at about 12:30 p.m., Williams was sitting in the living room watching the TV. In the living room, at the corner of the living room, is a lamp, a red lamp, sitting confidently on a table. After watching the TV for a while, Williams' attention got caught by the red lamp. The red lamp seemed to be blurry, although the light was shining perfectly. The lamp itself was visibly blurred. Williams, looking so surprised and confused at the same time, walks up to the red lamp, picks it up to inspect it. After inspecting it for a while, he drops it down on the table and heads back to his seat. But on getting to his seat to continue watching the TV, he found out that the lamp was still blurry, and this time around, he couldn't help but to keep staring at the lamp. He knew that it was not naturally possible for the lamp itself to be blurred, and he knew that he was going out of his mind, but he couldn't help the situation. He kept staring for hours, until his wife Emily comes home from the grocery store. She greets him and asked how he had been. He replied that he was fine and he was having a great time. Emily walked straight to the kitchen to prepare a delicious meal for the family, while Williams was sitting in the living room still staring full gaze at the red lamp. About 1 hour 30 minutes later, dinner was ready and served, and everyone headed to the dinner to devour their meals. After devouring their plates of food, everyone went to bed, but Williams would come out to the living room at the middle of the night just to stare at the lamp. He stared at the lamp till daybreak, and at this moment, he knew and was very convinced that this situation was getting so serious, completely out of hand, and that his mental health was greatly at stake. This would continue to the point that Williams could not go to work anymore, even though he had always loved his job and never took a day off. At this point, his wife was getting so concerned, and the kids were also a little bit worried because their dad had been acting so strange lately. He hasn't been telling the kids bedtime stories by night or singing lullabies in the morning like he used to. And he has become so distant from his family just within these few days. The following day, Williams would continuing staring at the lamp till a point that he noticed the lamp being turned upside down. But he kept staring at the lamp even though he was completely losing his mind. He kept on staring till it got to a point that the lamp started getting bigger and bigger with each second. The lamp grew bigger to the point where he couldn't see anything but just this big red blurry lamp, which was followed by total darkness. Williams was immediately transported to another reality. He could hear sounds and screams coming from different people, and those sounds and screams were getting more close, but everywhere was completely pitch black. Until finally, Williams opened his eyes and he found out that he was in the midst of people. He was laying there on the floor in a football pitch. As he was laying there still partially unconscious and trying to process what had just happened, he saw a man coming towards his direction. The man grabbed him and lifted him up on his shoulder, and immediately the man started heading to an ambulance parked a few meters away. Williams, still confused, was trying to ask questions, but he got no answers. When the man carrying him got to the ambulance, he carefully brought him down from his shoulder, positioned him carefully on the stretcher, and told him that he would be fine. Williams asked the man what had just happened, and the man simply replied him, stating that Williams was playing football and he suddenly got knocked down by an opponent. Williams asked about his wife and 2 kids, and he was told that they never existed, that he was a senior student in college, but the man reassured him that he would be fine as they drove off to the hospital for medical assistance. Williams would fully recover later on, but he would still feel very sad for living a life that he never had, a life that was never real. He would find it very hard to move on and accept the fact that all the life that he had lived with his wife and 2 kids were not real, and that his brain just created an entire life in just a few fraction of seconds, about 10 seconds. This story that you just listened to is called the Red Lamp Reddit story. And this is just a remastered version. A lot of people on the internet are very familiar with this story, and I'm sure that you are as well. This story happened to be one of those few stories with the greatest plot twist. A very controversial story that you can find on the internet, remastered and told by different storytellers on the platform. The validity or authenticity of this story is yet to be known, while others believe it to be false. Some believed it to be true, but it is up to you to decide for yourself whether you choose to believe it or not. The origin of the story. The lamp story is a viral post on the internet that has been surfacing for years, and its authenticity is still unknown. The story was originally published on Reddit in 2012 by a user named irresistible, who claimed that after being knocked unconscious in college, he had a dream about a whole other life. In his dream, he met a woman, married her, had 2 children and a great job. He claimed that he became obsessed with a lamp in his dream and realized that his whole life was not real. After the post, many users on the internet have made fun of the story, and the post has resurfaced on TikTok. Fiction or real? The Reddit lamp story is largely considered to be a work of fiction. While the author, irresistible, presented it as a true account, many readers have pointed out inconsistencies and implausible elements in the story. The post was likely intended as a creative writing exercise or a thought experiment, rather than a genuine account of events. The story's fantastical elements, such as the protagonist's dream life being so vivid and detailed, and the lamp being a symbol of his alternate reality, are likely literary devices used to explore themes of reality, perception, and the human experience. Ultimately, without further evidence or confirmation from the author, the story remains a captivating work of fiction that has captured the imagination of many online. Conclusion. The Reddit lamp story, also known as the lamp post, is a famous creepypasta, a scary story shared online that has been circulating on the internet for years. Here's a summary. The author, Yu Temptatasun, claimed to have had a vivid dream in college after being knocked unconscious. In the dream, he lived an entire life. He met a woman, got married, had 2 kids, and a successful career. He became obsessed with a lamp in his dream home, feeling an intense connection to it. As the dream progressed, he realized that his real life was actually a dream, and the lamp was a connection to his true reality. He became desperate to find the lamp in his waking life, believing it would prove the existence of his dream life. The story takes a dark turn as the author becomes increasingly unhinged, searching for the lamp and questioning reality. The post ends abruptly, leaving readers wondering if the author found the lamp or descended into madness. The story has sparked intense debate, with some believing it's a work of fiction, while others think it's a genuine account of a surreal experience. The lamp story has become a cultural phenomenon, inspiring fan art, cosplay, and even a short film. Its eerie and thought-provoking themes continue to captivate audiences, making it a classic creepypasta. So my dear listeners, that will make it up for today. If you enjoyed today's story, then kindly like, share and subscribe. You can also check out our previous videos. Also check out our sponsor, Grunz, link in bio. You can also share your story suggestions or original scary stories, true or fictional, to our email address storesphere07@gmail.com. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. We love you. Bye.